What's going on, everybody? Jackson Fuller here, high school sports reporter with the Star News, and I'm really happy to be joined by Jieem Bullock, senior from North Brunswick High School, a track and field star over there with the Scorpions. This is our second athlete to join us on Zoom time. Jieem, man, how are you doing? How are you holding up during quarantine? What's life like for you right now?
I'm doing great, and it's just a lot of working, some schoolwork. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
How are you kind of staying in? Are you working out? Are you staying in shape? What are you kind of going through right now while, school's closed and you can't compete with the North Brunswick track and field team?
I'm just doing a lot of body weight stuff and um, just working out by running throughout the neighborhood as much as I can.
Yeah. Um, I've the most important question I've got for you this entire interview. I see that LSU picture in the background. Have you perfected your Go Tigers yet? Are you just as good as Coach Orgeron and some of the other guys down in Baton Rouge yet at saying Go Tigers?
Not yet.
You're
Not
gonna,
yet.
you're gonna work on that
I'm gonna get
Houston
there.
accent when you get there, I guess. Let's talk about LSU. What made that kind of the perfect fit for you? For those that don't know, Jieem committed and signed to LSU over the wintertime. Jieem, what was it about the Tigers and Baton Rouge that made it a good fit for you?
Oh man, it was a lot. It was great. It was a great atmosphere, great coaching. They have a great history with the jumpers. They have an extremely great
When did
jumping
you
program.
when did you go on a visit to LSU?
Uh, I can't remember the exact date, but I think it was September-ish, later September, October,
In
early.
the fall though, did you get to go to a football game, or what all
Yes,
did you
sir.
do on your visit?
I went to a football game. It was against Utah State, I believe.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it was a really good game. They got blown out, but well, not LSU, but the Utah State they got blown out. But yeah, it was a good game. It was real hot.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember I actually went to LSU when I was a senior at UNCW because UNCW was playing baseball there, and I went down to do like radio and stuff. But I just remember not having high expectations. You don't, it's Louisiana, it's the deep, deep South, and just being blown away by the campus and everything. What was maybe the most surprising thing for you when you got to LSU?
How big the football campus was. I mean, how big the football stadium was. It's huge, and then they have a huge jumbotron that you can see from the apartment buildings all around. Yes, and then the whole city's built just around that football stadium. It's
Yeah.
really good.
Did you get to see the live tiger at all? Or I know they have one, I think, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I got to see it walking past the track. It's right
Nice.
beside it.
Awesome. So for those of you that might not know, Jieem won 2 state championships last year in the spring season. He won another 2 in the winter season this year. Jieem, at what point did you realize as a track and field athlete that, okay, I'm pretty good at this. I could maybe make this a college scholarship and have a lot of success competing in track and field?
I believe it was my outdoor states the year after I won New Balance.
Mhm.
So it was kind of that confirmation that, yeah, I actually did this and that I'm able to do it again at a high level and compete at that level.
So the New Balance, that was the winter of your junior year, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you went to New York and competed in the national championship, and your first jump, you set a PR, and that was the jump that won the championship, right?
Yes, sir.
Going back and kind of like reading about a little bit of what we wrote and seeing some stuff that NC Mile Split had wrote or NC Runners had written, that it was a surprise. You weren't really expecting to win that national championship. Is that right?
Oh yeah, that's right. I barely even qualified to get into it because states I came in, I believe, fourth place with a 22.9, I believe, or 22.7. That barely got there. And yeah,
What was the biggest key to that, making that literally and figuratively making that jump? I mean, did you do a lot of training before, or was it just something clicked, or was it just a matter of once you do it once, you realize you have the confidence to do it again?
I think it's a mix of all of those, honestly, because I did a lot of resting before because I was coming off a basketball season injury. I rolled my ankle really bad. So I went into that, and then I went into the meet, and then I felt good jumping. I didn't know I felt that good jumping at least, but yeah, I felt good jumping, and then everything kind of laid out the way it did.
Mm-hmm. You that was the long jump, right? That you won the
Yes,
national
sir.
championship in. Yeah, I read a funny story on NC Runners that you saw the meters number pop up and you didn't exactly know what that mean, and your coach had to point out 2.4. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. That had to be a quite a moment once he held up those numbers. So yeah, you I know you played football at North, but you also have played a couple of basketball seasons as well. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And what other sports did you play growing up?
Actually, I played baseball my whole life growing up, and I was pretty good at it, but I guess I lost passion for it during high school, my
Mhm.
freshman year. So,
Out of those three, I imagine baseball is not going to be the answer to this question. But what sport do you think may had the biggest impact on you as a track and field athlete? What sport kind of helped you become a good track and field athlete? Was it football or basketball? You think more so?
uh, I honestly think it's football because the weight training was intense for football, and then just like being able to build your body and get your confidence for the other sports played a big impact. So I guess more of weightlifting, but football played a big part in it.
Yeah, because that's the sport with the biggest focus on the weightlifting, I guess, is
Yes,
football.
sir.
Not that basketball and baseball don't have it, but that's the biggest one. And you got injured during your senior football season this year. I mean, how tough was the comeback, and how tough was it missing your final season of football?
Uh, it was really tough for missing my senior year and my teammates. I wanted to play for my team, and that's all. It wasn't really about me. It was more for my team. I wanted to make them happy and play for them so they have a really good chance.
Yeah, I know you guys at North Brunswick had a lot of injuries, but you still had a really good season
Oh, yeah.
under Coach Davis. What is it about Coach Davis that it seems like he's got the program going in the right direction? And from what I can tell, you guys really believe in him as a head coach, the kids on the team.
Oh yeah, he's all positive about everything. He talks about stuff that he does that he want to do in advance, and then he makes it happen. And he changes the culture at the places that he goes.
So out of all the championships that you've won in track and field, which one do you think brought you the most joy? If you had to pick a favorite state championship or a favorite national championship, which one do you look back on and have like the most joy kind of come to you?
My favorite championship, my state championship would be my first one that I ever won because I doubled up in the high jump and long jump. My first time ever winning states. I got pretty close the years before, but like I couldn't put it together. And then just to be able to put it together that one last time, one last time, and yeah, it made a big difference. And
Did you do which one came first? Was it the long jump or the high jump at that state championship?
I believe it was the high jump.
Okay.
Yes,
I bet it kind of blurs together when you win two of those. I mean, have you gotten a ring yet or anything like that, or what?
Oh yeah,
Kind of.
I can show you one if you want to.
Okay, yeah, sure, let's do it. I'm happy enough to wait.
So this one is for both of them from the first one that I won. It has like high jump and long jump engraved in it.
Awesome. When you were a sophomore and you made the state championships, I think third and sixth, something like that, right? I mean, how much of a learning process was it going to a state championship, and how much did those prior experiences make things easier for you when you got there as a junior?
Just knowing that it was a bigger stage than the local meets that I go to around here, and it's higher competition for most stuff, and that you have to pace yourself overnight. You have to put in preparation. You have to think about what you're going to do. It's pretty much just mentally getting yourself prepared for what you had to do, and then I came in mentally prepared.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's not as easy as just getting off the bus for a conference meet. When you're at a state championship, there's a lot more going on. When do you plan on? Do you have a date when you plan on heading down to Baton Rouge? Or I mean, I imagine that might be up in the air right now with all the stuff that's going on. But what's kind of your schedule for going to LSU?
I don't know.
Sorry about that. Ignore my roommate in the background creeping on me. What is you know what was it like kind of getting the message that spring sports were over? When did you kind of hear, not over, they could still come back, but when did you hear that they were going to be suspended, and what was it like kind of getting that message?
Yeah, I was at my first outdoor track meet of the season because, well, actually my second, but it was my first one jumping in because New Balance just got canceled that weekend. So I wasn't planning on going to that meet at all, but I was going to New Balance.
Mm-hmm.
And then once it got canceled, I just decided I was going to go to that meet and then jump really good and try to jump really good at least at topsail.
Mm-hmm. So are you still are you still talking to teammates and coaches from North Brunswick? I mean, how much do you guys are you talking about hoping that there's a season, or are you kind of thinking that there probably won't be a high school sports season this spring?
We're kind of in the middle of both, and I'm just talking with my other fellow seniors and seeing how they're doing, checking up on them. Some people I fish with, and some
Mm-hmm.
people I try to I see at work sometimes. But yeah,
Where do you work?
I work at Food Line and cashier.
Nice. So you're an essential employee just like me. I mean, what have the grocery stores kind of been like these days? I imagine a lot of people are kind of wearing masks and they're not as busy, but that's probably the busiest place in all of Leland or Wilmington right now are the grocery stores.
So yeah, it's really busy. Well, actually, it's really busy. Sometimes it picks up and then slows down. But yeah, it's not that bad. And a lot of people wearing masks and protective stuff.
Cool.
Yes, sir.
And what have you set? You know, I know you still had a senior season that you wanted to compete in, but when you think about going to LSU and competing SEC track and field, have you set any goals for yourself yet that you might want to accomplish down the road?
Well, going into my senior year, I wanted to jump 25 plus in the long jump and then get over 7 feet in the high jump. But going to Louisiana, I just wanted improving my PRs as much as I can to be able to compete at that level and to be able to score for my team.
Awesome. Well, that's all the questions I got for you, Jieem. Thank you so much for joining me, man. I really appreciate it. Hope you stay safe, stay healthy. Appreciate you still working at Food Lion, all the grocery store workers across the country. I don't think we realized how much we really needed people like you to kind of keep us as a country sane. So thank you so much, man. Stay safe, stay healthy, and hopefully we get to talk to each other soon about some high school sports.
Yes, sir. Thank you.